Hello, Haven students and families, and welcome back to Making Art with Mrs. Hutchins at Home. Today I'm going to show you a really easy salt dough recipe. You can use this to make whatever you like, but I'm going to show you 3 different ways to make some fun things at home. You can also bake these in the oven and keep them for much longer, or reuse the dough over and over again. Hope you enjoy. Materials you will need are a bowl and a spoon for mixing, a half a cup of cold water, 1/2 cup of salt, a cup of flour, and food coloring is optional. In the bowl, mix together the flour and the salt and slowly add in the water, and only using as much as it takes to get the dough to form. If the dough is too wet, just add in a little bit of flour as you are kneading it in. Mine was very wet, so I had to knead in a lot of extra flour. When the dough is formed into a ball and it's the desired consistency, you need to knead it for about 10 minutes and let it rest for 20 minutes. After that, I divided it into 4. I wanted one of my pieces to be white and the other 3 to be different colors. After my dough had rested for a little while, I added the food coloring. I just added a little bit and then I kneaded it in. After a few minutes of kneading, I had these beautiful colors. I added blue and yellow together to make green, and then made the other 2 balls yellow and blue. So I had 4 different colors. Here's the first thing we're going to make. A fun fish. I used all 4 colors. So I was rolling my green color into a ball. I flattened it out and I used a can of soup to roll it. If you don't have a rolling pin, just find whatever is around. I kind of stretched it out to make it into an oval, and then I began to cut away some triangle pieces. This created a tail for my fish. Then I wanted the body to be a little bit longer, so I cut it a little bit more. Using a fork, I stamped some texture into the fins and into the tail. Then, using a pencil, I drew a head, used some white to sculpt a little eye by rolling it, and using my fingers to pinch and turn into a little circle. Used a little blue for the center, used the fork again to make a fin, cut a little mouth, and added some scales using the tip of the knife. And remember, this is a butter knife, not sharp. I added teeny tiny scales. Using my pencil, I created some holes so that you could hang it later after it dries. I also used a little bit of yellow to make a fin. And that fork again. Made a dot for the eye, and it's done. Ta-da! Next thing that I'm going to show you how to make are some beautiful spring flowers. Using my hands, I'm rolling the clay into what's called a coil. A coil is a long, thin piece of clay. Now, mind you, my green was a little bit dry for whatever reason, so I had a hard time kind of rolling it. I might have added a little too much flour, but still I was able to get it to work. I just kept pinching and playing with it until it went into the shape that I wanted it to go into. Again, using my fingers, I pinched a little circle, and using some yellow, I decided to make some petals. If you don't have food coloring at home, you could always make this with white dough and just add some paint later, or color it with a marker and add a little bit of water, and that would color your clay. Using the knife and my fingers and the pencil, I was able to create textures and details and designs, making different shaped leaves and different style of flowers for each one. And last but not least, I'm going to show you how to make this gargoyle pencil topper. It's so much fun. First, I rolled the clay into a ball. Then I made sure I had all my tools, and I put the pencil in first because I learned the hard way, you'll squish the face. So put that in and then use your 3 fingers to pinch 2 little eyes and a nose. Then I take my knife and gently cut a mouth. Using another pencil, I stamped 2 eye sockets and then use a pointed pencil to make 2 little dots inside and then kind of press his nose and add little nostrils. Using my fingers, I pinched 2 ears. Then I added some texture with my fork and let it set and dry for a little while. You can also bake this in the oven if you want to. Boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed watching me, and I hope that you have some extra clay left over. If you do, just store it in a Tupperware bin and then reuse it. Make lots of things, have your parents snap a picture and send it to me in an email. I hope you enjoyed watching my creations today. I sure can't wait to see what you come up with. Fourth grader watching this video, you might remember us learning about North Carolina face jugs right before school went out. I hope that this inspires you to make one too.